Okay. I don't know if we can see this or not. I'm going to try to darken this a little bit. Turn the light away from it. And see if I can focus it a little bit more.
Okay.
You see that?
Yes.
Right there. Okay, so our text for this course is in Mark chapter 5, verse 26. And that says, the one section that I like about it in the King James, it says that this woman had suffered many things of many physicians and had spent all that she had and was nothing better, but rather grew worse. That's enough to make your heart stop just thinking about that. Now imagine this was someone that you loved, your mother, your sister, your daughter, spending everything that they have, going from doctor to doctor, and instead of getting better, they actually get worse. Kind of like when people go into cancer treatment and they go in walking and they have to wheel them out, no hair, no weight anymore, they're worse than they were before, all in the name of medicine. Now again, as I've said to you, medicine is not a bad thing, not at all. But if that's the only thing you're dependent on, it's an imbalance in how you're attacking that illness, ailment, sickness, dis-ease. Whatever it is you're coming against, you need to come at it from more than one direction. So all this first week, I focused on rest because that's the number one thing that we as believers miss. The commandment, the fourth commandment of the Sabbath day. We think it's only on a day we're supposed to go to church, but the word that we're speaking of is rest.
Yes.
It's the idea that you don't allow yourself to do anything that you have to do. If you have to work on Sunday because you're a preacher, then you have to work on Sunday because you're a preacher. But you still need a day. A lot of preachers take Mondays off. I used to take Mondays off myself. Before I moved here, that was my day for a long time. Before that, it was Saturdays. Right now, it's Saturdays, but I'm having to modify that so I can do this class. So you have to find that time, even if it's from evening to evening. You may not get the whole day. I may have to do Sunday evening to Sunday morning. I have to work this out because you have to have that day. Spirit, soul, and body. It's not a day of sleep. God didn't say take a day of sleep. He said take a day of rest. Rest in your mind, rest in your spirit, rest in your body. It doesn't mean you lay in the bed all day. It means you're not putting any demands on yourself. Allowing your body and your mind and your spirit to be refreshed and renewed and rejuvenated. So while we talked about all that last week, and you all got everything, you all received everything? Okay, fantastic.
Yes.
Today's lesson and this whole week we'll be talking about preparing your temple. In order for you to be successful at transforming your body, and I don't mean just to heal it, I mean to transform it. Because you can get over the flu, but that doesn't mean your body is transformed. It's all about what your body is capable of handling. If you're coming from a place of weakness where you don't have enough nutrition or you don't have enough strength in you, it's going to be hard for you to fight the next thing. And I want to ask you a couple of questions. What are the two main ways that your body becomes sick? There are two components that have to happen for you to become sick.
You get exposed to a germ.
Okay? So, I'll put that over here. Put this underneath here. Can you think of what they might be? I'm going to tell you. One is toxins, and the other is malnutrition. Did I spell that right? So
we know what it is.
Yes.
It doesn't look right.
It's right.
It doesn't look right.
It's right. Yeah.
But these are the two areas that have to happen before you can become sick. So toxins would include acids, and that comes from what we eat. It includes pollutants. That includes the air you breathe, the chemicals you use to clean with, the lotions you put on your body, and what you shampoo your hair with. All these are toxins and pollutants. Also, it can come from the chemicals that you have in your food.
Like
For sure.
tomatoes and stuff like that?
No. The chemicals from processed foods.
I mean, but like you said, acid is...
No, that's a different type of acid. acid is a condition that a food creates inside of your body. There's no way for a disease to live without acid. So the more acid you have in your body, the more likely you are to become sick. So acid doesn't just come from citrus fruits and from, you know, like what you just said, from tomatoes. It also comes from things like meat. Primarily the source of acid in our diet is meat. All animal products have acid. They have a cause an acidic reaction in your body. All meat. Fish, chicken, eggs, cheese, and all is acidic. It's not that you're not supposed to eat meat, but in order for an acidic and alkaline balance is what you need in your body, there should only be 20% of acid and 80% of alkaline in your diet. We're going to talk about that later in the course. But the other thing is malnutrition. That means you're not getting vitamins, you're not getting minerals. I mean, these are the things that we're missing. This is what causes sickness, these two areas right here. We think if we just go on a diet and we exercise that we're going to beat cancer and we're going to beat all these other things that come at us. But actually, if there's toxins in your system, the number one toxin that we take in is, believe it or not, that's our number one toxin. After that comes alcohol, caffeine, and then I need more room here, but should have made these letters a little bit smaller. But smoking. Those are the major toxins that we ingest into our systems. Major. So in order to prepare your temple, prepare your body to defeat the toxins and build up your nutrition, we have to plan. We have to sit down and go, okay, I'm going to go line by line, precept by precept, here a little, there a little. It's going to take you 90 days to get this right. When you go into a cancer treatment facility, you already know you're not going to get over cancer in a day. A cancer cell takes 20 years to develop to a point where you know it's there. 20 years. But your body has been fighting it the whole time. And by the time it becomes to a point where it's about to kill you, your body is getting tired of fighting it because it's missing all of this. And cancer needs all of this, especially this, to live. It has to have acid. Disease must have acid. So I'm going to show you how to reduce your acid levels and bring up your alkaline levels, that you're balanced out, so that if a disease does attack you, it can't survive. Yes?
May I ask a question?
Please.
I hear that inflammation in the body causes disease too. Is that the result of inflammation?
That's the result. Inflammation is result. Inflammation is your body telling you that one of these has happened. Okay. Something here has happened. You're missing something, or something is attacking. You've ingested something. And so your body is inflamed, trying to fight it off, trying to make up for what's missing. You have too much sodium in your diet. Sodium can become toxic as well if you have too much. And I mean, we hear this, don't eat too much salt, don't eat too much sugar. Everyone's telling you what not to do. But I want to tell you what you can do. Don't tell me what not to eat. Tell me what I can eat and how to eat it, so that I'm not sitting here eating celery sticks and hating it. This is not about diet. It's about an entire process of let me reset my body, because I've been eating junk for a long time. Cheetos are not food. That's not food. And too much of any kind of food is not balanced. I know we love certain things, and there are certain things that we do not like, but I want you to try those things you don't like again. I want you to try things you've never had before. Go to an international grocery store and look at the weird, wild, crazy-looking produce that they have that you've never seen or tried, and just don't turn your nose up at it. Go online and find out how to cook it and how to eat it. How many of you have ever had jicama?
Like a root?
Jicama.
Like
It's a
root
vegetable. It's a
Yeah.
root vegetable. It's white. You can make it like French fries. It has an interesting name. It's spelled with a J, but it's one of those things that we just didn't come up eating that. What is that? How many of you came up eating artichoke?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and artichoke gets rid of toxins.
Yeah.
It actually cleans your
That's
body out.
Yeah.
About cilantro. Cilantro gets rid of dangerous metals in your body. That's another pollutant. I'll just put down here, metals, for example. Cilantro? Say that one more time.
How do you spell it?
C-I-L-A-T-R-O.
Yes, yes,
Cilantro.
yes. I use it as a spice.
You use it as a spice. You can put it in salads. I'm going to make you probably next week some guacamole with it. But it's the amazing thing about this is when you're trying to eat acidic foods, things like tomatoes, cilantro, onions, garlic, lime, all of those are non-acidic. Even though limes, you would think that's acid.
Right.
It's not that type of, it's a different type of effect. It's a different type of acid. Lemon actually you know what I'm trying to say? It brings your body to an alkaline state. Even though it's an acid, it's not that kind of acid. We're looking for the acids that
So
cause your body to break down.
So then it's good for you?
It's absolutely good for you.
Okay.
It's good to put lemon in your water, you know, when you eat in the morning. So, the text that I want you to focus on all this week is found in Psalm 103, verse 5. This is our scripture for the week. Our text for the course is Mark 5:26, but our text for just this week that we're meditating on is Psalm 103, verse 5. Now, I touched on this a couple of weeks ago when we did our meet and greet. This is what it reads in the King James. It says, "Who satisfieth thy mouth with good things, so that thy youth is renewed like the eagles." He satisfies thy mouth with good things, so that thy youth is renewed like the eagles. Let me show you something. Have you ever heard of, and I'm getting ahead of myself in my course, but I want to show you something right quick. Have you ever heard of the doctrine of signatures?
Heard of what?
The doctrine of signatures.
No.
No.
Okay.
I have.
The doctrine of signatures, let's see if I can make this a tiny bit bigger for you. How about that? See that?
Mhm.
Okay. The doctrine of signatures, doctrine of food signatures, is an ancient doctrine that states that what a food looks like, if it's similar to a part of your body, that food is designed by God to heal that part of your body. So for example, the walnut, if you crack open a walnut, when you look inside at the actual nut, before you break it in pieces, it resembles your brain. Walnuts have a component inside of it that actually heals the cells in your brain.
Really?
Really. The kidney bean looks exactly like what?
A kidney.
It looks like your kidney. And it actually has a nutrient in it that heals and repairs your kidney. What about, let's see if you can follow my little arrow here.
The heart.
The tomato. The tomato is red, it fits in, it's about the size of your hand, and it has chambers inside of it. Just like your heart.
Mhm.
So this is the same doctrine, that God's signature on this is that there's something in a tomato that will help your heart be strengthened. They found out what it's called, they call it lycopene.
Okay.
That's in tomatoes. But here's the secret, it's in the seed of the tomato. The part that we kind of throw away
Yeah.
when we're making sauce. But when I make tomato sauce for my pasta or for whatever, I blend it down in my bullet so it crushes and destroys the seeds. It doesn't destroy them, but it makes it so that you can't bite into them because they're bitter. But it's not just the seed, it's the gel around the seed. That's the part that you need. See, we don't know this. That's why we have to take the time to learn it. So what about, you see the walnut up top? Also for the brain, we have things like red cabbage, cauliflower, things that look like your brain. What about your liver? What looks like your liver? Sweet potatoes, onions, those are the things that help your liver. What about your breast health? Citrus fruits. Actually, when you cut open a citrus, I have a better picture than this. Let me see, let me show you a different one. I have to minimize that for a second. Grapes actually work to help also the heart. Peanuts, and this is kind of funny. Peanuts actually,
What?
peanuts as well as figs. Let me go with figs. Figs.
Mhm.
Figs grow in pairs, and they resemble a scrotum, and they're filled with seeds, just like a scrotum is. And it actually heals a man's scrotum. It helps to prevent, you know, the kind of cancer that men get. That
Prostate.
there you go.
Yeah.
But believe it or not, it's the signature. This is what it's showing you.
Wow.
Let's see if I can have a better picture for you. Okay. But we're going to get into this more, you know, and also avocados. Avocados resemble a woman's womb. And believe it or not, an avocado takes 9 months to mature. 9 months. When you look at an avocado, you see that? When you look at an avocado, it looks like, the way they have it positioned, it looks exactly like a womb, only they have it upside down with that opening in it where the seed is.
Right.
It's amazing
It is.
what the avocado does to strengthen the uterus in a woman. You
Wow.
should eat one every day for female health.
Mhm.
But a lot of us, you know, I didn't like avocado because I only had it one way. I didn't know how good it could be. I didn't know how delicious it could be because when I had it, it was just a mush. The avocado needs seasoning.
Right.
You've
It's
got to,
tasteless.
it's tasteless.
How do you cook it?
I make a fantastic avocado soup, which I would love to make for you next week if you like.
Okay.
I make avocado soup because I don't want to always eat guacamole. Guacamole is the easiest thing to make.
Right.
You know, make chips with it. You can use it as a spread. You can use it as a salad dressing instead of mayonnaise and something heavy like that. Because avocados have fat in it, but it's a healthy fat. When you're trying to get rid of fat, you need some types of fat, like the vegetable fat that's in avocado. It's the kind of fat that actually doesn't cause high cholesterol. It actually helps decrease it, believe it or not. So that's the kind of fat you need. So you should use avocado oil instead of using, you never use the vegetable or the refined oils. Always use a cold press. Please write this. When you use an oil, a fruit oil, always use a cold pressed oil.
COLD.
Cold press, and if you can, get one that is virgin. Cold pressed. Look for this. If you find that, then you know you got a good product that's going to help you. So whether it's olive oil, grapeseed oil, avocado oil, whatever kind of oil you choose to use, coconut oil, especially coconut oil, you want cold press, and if you can, get the first cold press. That means the oil that came out when they first pressed it, and then they take that batch, and then they go back and repress it to see if there's anything left. It's less of a quality, it's not as, you know, not as strong, so they're going to charge you less for that. Pay the extra and get the best one. So we're talking about coconut, avocado, what else did I say?
Olive.
Avocado,
Grapeseed.
olive, grapeseed. Now grapeseed oil has no taste, so it's a great carrier oil when you make products, and we will be making products like making your own lotions and your own little scrubs and things like that. Grapeseed oil. That's what I wanted to do in this course, is show you how to make your own beauty products, where you don't have to look for them or pay a lot of money. But coconut oil is excellent to fry with because it has a high flash point when it comes to heating it up. It's not going to smoke suddenly like some oils do where you'll burn really fast. So it's good to fry with coconut oil, especially fish is delicious in coconut oil. Rapeseed oil, it doesn't really have much taste, so it's not going to mess with how your food tastes. I'm also going to show you how to air fry food. You don't know how to do that. So that, again, that's a later course. Did I spell that right? Avocado. It just
Yes.
nothing looks right to me.
I think
It looks like avocado.
I think there's a V in it.
It is, she's got it.
She's got the B.
Oh, it's avocado. See, I put avocado.
Okay.
I knew it didn't look right.
Uh-huh.
Avocado.
There's a V.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm writing too fast.
Mhm.
Okay, so here's where I'm trying to keep us focused in this plan, okay? The first thing that we want to do, and I have an example for you in scripture, and this is what I would like you to write on your outline, but since we don't have your outline, I'm going to show you mine. I'm going to give you my secret. This is my secret teacher's version of the outline with all the answers in it.
Okay.
Let me see if I can make that a little more clear. Better? Okay. Yeah, my husband's scared. All right, so Manoah's wife, you can find her story in Judges chapter 13, verses 1 through 6. Manoah's wife was Samson's mother. But I wanted to read to you, oh, wait, I'm ahead of myself. Yes.
I'm sorry, Judges
Judges chapter 13, 1 through 6.
13.
I got ahead of myself when we were talking about Psalm 103, verse 5, about renewing your youth like the eagles, who satisfies thy mouth with good things. That's when we talked about the doctrine of signatures, because those are the good things that God will satisfy you with, so that you can renew your youth like the eagles. How is your youth renewed? The youth is renewed like an eagle, because an eagle at 40 years of age begins to renew itself by removing its old feathers, by breaking off its own beak, and waiting for a new beak to grow and new feathers to come in. It means he can't eat for a while, so he's fasting at the same time. When he does that, he adds 10, 15, even more years to his life. So he's literally renewing his youth by taking out what is old and what is bad and what is no longer any good. Now, I'm not going to break off my nose, but I am going to break off from eating those things that I know are no longer doing me any good. I am going to shed off pounds that I know I don't need, that are weighing me down and keeping me from moving. I am going to do those things because I know that that's how I will renew my youth like an eagle, because God's going to satisfy my mouth with good things. Your food is your medicine. Your medicine should be your food. If I don't feel well, I should know what to do. But unfortunately, the people back in earlier times in our history who knew what to do got phased out by those who wanted to make money on medications. They were called witches. They were witches. They called them witches. They persecuted them. They killed them because they were making tea from herbs and from roots. And now we're all finding out they were right. They just didn't know that this was God's signature on these foods. When they would say, here, try this, eat this, and then people would go, you must be a wizard. You must be a magician. How did you heal me? They didn't. They just knew, okay, there's something in this food. So the doctrine of signatures has been proved now by scientists that those guys, before pills were invented, before medication was invented, they had the doctrine of signatures that they all held to and believed and shared that information. Oh, your bones are weak? You need to eat celery. You need to eat those fruits and vegetables that look just like bones. Eat whatever the food looks like when that part of your body is suffering. Why do we have so many dialysis clinics? I don't know. People need to eat more chili, more kidney beans. You know, we don't understand how food works in our bodies. We're made from the earth. And the food that we eat comes from the earth. So if we're not eating correctly, or we're eating food-like products, things that used to be food but got processed and fried and destroyed. When you fry something, it destroys the structure of the molecules in the food. So it no longer does what it's supposed to do. When you microwave food, it destroys it. It does more than just heat it up. We started seeing a lot of problems happen in the last 20, 30 years when we started having microwaves. And we started having instant foods available and ready. And all the chemicals added into those ingredient lists that we could not recognize what they were. This is how we became toxic. This is why so many have cancer and tumors inside of us, whether they're cancerous or not. We should not be going to the surgeon to have surgery every other year, every 5 years, every 10 years. We're not supposed to have parts of our body cut out. So Manoah's wife, in Judges chapter 13, was met with the angel of the Lord, telling her exactly what to do to prepare for the next judge, to prepare for her son. Judges 13, the first 6 verses tells her what she's supposed to do. I'm going to look at verse 3. And the angel of the Lord appeared unto the woman, and said unto her, Behold, now thou art barren and bearest not, but thou shalt conceive and bear a son. Now therefore beware, I pray thee, and drink not wine nor strong drink, and eat not any unclean thing. Stop right there. He told her to beware. Don't drink any strong drink, no wine, eat not anything that's unclean. And he told her why. You're going to conceive a son. He's going to be a Nazarite from the womb. He's going to be a holy man of God. God has a purpose and a calling on his life. So there are things he can do. But it also, did you know that grapes, we all know about alcohol now, that you shouldn't drink when you're pregnant. But you also know that you shouldn't have raisins or grapes when you're pregnant. Because there are chemicals in the grapes and in the skin that a woman who is pregnant and has such a sensitive digestive system, really a compromised digestive system, cannot break it down like you could if you were not pregnant. And you end up having problems, even miscarrying, because you're eating something that's supposed to be healthy. But it's not just what you're eating, it's when you're eating it, it's how much of it you're eating, and it's how you're preparing it. That's where we're missing the connection. When I'm eating right, but are you eating correctly? Are you eating your spinach raw? Because you shouldn't. Because there's nutrients in the spinach that if you eat it raw, it just goes right through you. If you're eating the chia seeds and the flax seeds everyone is talking about, if you're eating them whole, it goes right through your body. It does you no good. So this is what we're trying to help you understand.
So spinach.
So,
Spinach should be cooked.
Sorry.
You should cook.
It should be cooked.
It's not good in salads. I mean, you can eat it, but it
You
doesn't
can
do
eat
you
it.
much.
It doesn't do you as much good if it's raw.
Yeah.
Because your body, there are different types of chemicals and components in your body, in your digestive system. And some nutrients will go right through you, and your body will not absorb it. So it's still good, but your body's not absorbing all of the nutrients that you could have.
I do cook fresh spinach. I
Mhm.
saute it.
With some onions and butter.
I like to do that too.
So I am
Yep.
putting
But I use olive oil when I do it. I use a little olive
I use
oil,
olive-
and I like to mix
olive
things
oil.
in like nuts. You know, I'll put walnuts in it, or
Okay.
a little almond slivers, just to kind of give it a different texture to it.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I do the same with watercress. I love to saute greens. Kale, I take the stems out and I cook the stems first.
Mhm.
Or I'll save the stems to make vegetable broth, or to eat them in a saute, like if I want to do stir fry. But I don't throw any part of the vegetable away if I can. Is that us?
Mhm.
Come in. Is that our door?
Sounds
I
like
like
it.
Okay, let me see. It's a lot of doors in here, isn't it?
Yeah.
See.
Throw some walnuts in there. Kinda work some water in.
Instead of, and then don't use butter.
Olive oil.
Yes. Oh, okay, thank you. Okay, so that's just, and here's my prayer. I pray that I'm able to really give you a thorough course, because it's a lot of information. And I do not want to just give you a little bit here and a little bit there to the point where you don't get the full story. For example, I learned that when you have swelling in your ankles, what causes swelling? That we're thinking, okay, there's too much water in your body, but it's not just too much water. You're getting this water because of the excess salt, because the salt is not going to your cells like it should. But how do you do that? It's a matter of salt and magnesium. They have to work together. There are certain things that work together. Those things we don't understand. I'm hoping to bring that about, and just to give you a background, I started doing this because I started having health issues, and I would go back and forth to the doctor, and they were not, come on in. I can see somebody there.
Mhm.
Hello, hello. Hi, hello. Hi. How are you? Okay. How are you?
Fine.
Okay, so what started happening is I started seeing the change when I would do things differently. I started seeing my gray hair turn back to black. And then I found out that that was a result of when your liver has been compromised, or you become ill, or your liver has been overtaxed, your hair will start to turn gray prematurely when there's toxins or malnutrition. And I started to do certain things, get rid of certain chemicals, and stop taking the medications the doctors kept insisting that I take. I just stopped. And as a result, my hair started going back to its normal color. And I could see it would be black here, and the rest of it would be gray, and it would grow out black again. And I had to look that up. I said, okay, what is going on? I have never heard of hair going back to its original color. But it's all about your liver. It's all about your organs. I want you all not to focus on your muscles and working out and going on a diet and getting rid of fat, count calories. That is not, calories has nothing to do with those two things. How much nutrients you're taking in and how much toxins are you taking out. You have to take out as well as put in. So people have started to do cleanses. They started to do all these, I'm going to do this lemon cleanse, and I'm going to do this water cleanse, and I'm going to fast. And they're taking out, and that's fantastic. But they're forgetting this part. You can't just take all this out and leave yourself empty. This is what we've seen the result of all of the antibiotics. The antibiotics take out everything good and bad. So you feel better for a couple of weeks, but since your body is wiped out, within a few more weeks, you're sick again with something else. So they give you another antibiotic. This happens a lot in babies. They give them the antibiotic, and this next thing you know, my baby's sick again. And then you just go, and this cycle just repeats itself because the antibiotics wipes out everything. They don't tell you about probiotics. No one talks about those. Well, they are now. No one talks about fermented food. I don't want to say no one. Fermented foods which has natural probiotics in it, natural biotics. Your body is supposed to be biotic. Remember when we were kids, we watched the Bionic Man and Bionic Woman? Yeah, that's the fact of bio. Your body needs certain microbes inside of you. And if I say a word incorrectly, it's because I'm not a doctor or scientist. I am sharing with you what I have learned in the past, 3-4 years? Just 2019? Wow, 6 years. The past 6 years of constantly learning and gathering information and asking questions and going to seminars and classes and studying. I just want to share that with you all because this is what is destroying us because we don't know two things. That sounds pretty easy enough. I'm thinking, well, if you smoke, we all know about the smoking thing. We know about what caffeine does. We know about alcohol. We're starting to learn about sugar. We know all about pollution. We know we can't have water that's been contaminated. We know about stuff like that, right? But we don't know about acidic foods. Now, we'll see someone who is vegetarian or vegan, but they're just doing it because a lot of times they don't believe in hurting animals. That's fine, but that's their belief system, but they still don't understand there are even some fruits and vegetables that can be acidic. For example, if you want to eat a banana, if you eat it when it's ripe, it's alkaline. If you eat it and it's not ripe, it's acidic, and it's the same fruit. If you eat things like berries, if you eat them raw, they're alkaline. If you cook them down into a jelly, they're acidic. Or if it's dry, because all of the fluid is out of it now, it's been evaporated, and you don't have that balance. If you drink orange juice came from the orange, it's acidic, because it's nothing but sugar. You've taken out the fiber, you've taken out the pulp, the meat of the fruit that you need, or any fruit juice, where you take out all the fiber, is dangerously sweet. You're literally drinking liquid sugar. And this is how, we think I'm going to have a glass of orange juice every day, they tell me that's healthy. It is not. You're better off eating the orange. And if you insist on drinking a juice, then drink it only a little at a time. Or like I like to do, mix it with a little seltzer water to make a little soda, natural soda. That's a whole lot safer. You should never drink soda. That's another lesson altogether, but those things you should never drink soda. 1 can of soda will knock out your immune system for 24 hours. Meaning your body can't fight off anything. 1 can of soda, because it's that much sugar. There's so much sugar in a can of soda, so they actually put phosphoric acid in the soda to keep you from vomiting. Because your body will literally try to throw up with that much sugar going into your mouth at one time. And if you were to just take spoons of sugar or liquid sugar and just drink it down that way, your body would say, no, I can't handle that, because your body can only handle 24 grams of sugar a day. Your pancreas can't handle more than that. So remember that number, 24 hours in a day, 24 grams of sugar a day is all your pancreas is able to handle without it being compromised. This is how people become diabetic. But it's also how you come back from being diabetic. If you limit the amount of sugar, you have to read everything. Box of cereal. If it has 21 grams of sugar, guess what? That 1 bowl of cereal you're at your limit almost
Right.
already. And if you have a glass of juice with it, you've already tripled how much sugar you can handle. And don't, oh, let me put some raisins in there. That's even more sugar. Lunchtime, you go and you start, oh, I think I'm gonna have a sandwich. And the sandwich, the salad dressing has sugar in it. You didn't know. Okay, I'll have spaghetti for dinner. The spaghetti sauce has sugar. The spaghetti, the box spaghetti has sugar in it. You thought it was just pasta. The amazing thing is we don't know how much sugar is in our food. If you didn't make it yourself, there's probably sugar in it. Two things they always add is sugar and salt to prepared foods because it makes you want to eat it.
Eat it, that's right.
And it makes you keep buying it. If you ate it and you didn't like it, then you're not going to buy that product anymore, so they always add sugar and salt. You have your hand up.
So on a daily basis, like, what is your breakfast, lunch, and dinner?
Okay, for me, honestly, I like to start with oatmeal because oatmeal is a fiber, and you do need fiber in your body because it keeps things moving through your intestines like it should. I like to first drink water. That's the first thing I do when I wake up is I try to drink a glass of water. I may even put a packet of dried lemon in it. You can get those from like Dollar Tree right now. Just a packet of dried lemon in the water because it helps to alkalinize your body, to bring your body to an alkaline state. And then from there, I like to, I'll maybe get a piece of fruit on the way out the door, or either put one in my bag so that when I do feel hungry again, I'll eat that. I like toast.
Croissant.
Yeah, but I like the big pan bread, try to find one that's whole grain. Doesn't matter what kind of grain you like, as long as it's whole. It's when they start to cut it down into pieces, where it's crushed and it's broken down, that's when it's losing its nutritional value. You want the nutrition. Organic should be for anything that doesn't have skin. This will kind of help you with what should I buy. If I go to Whole Foods, I'll go broke. But buy the foods that don't have skin. The number one fruit that takes in toxins from the air, from chemicals around it, are strawberries. Strawberries have nothing to protect it. So they absorb everything. So that's one thing you must buy organic.
I'm allergic to strawberry.
Okay, that's probably why. And sometimes it's not the fruit itself, it's what they've done to the fruit. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, for some reason peanuts have been making this process of what's going on in children's bodies. When you look on the side of the peanut jar, it'll say, oh, it's GMO. It's been genetically modified. We changed it. We diced it and spliced it and mixed it up. GMO means that they have done something to it to make it grow so that it can make them more money. So now it can fight bugs by itself. Now it can fight off disease by itself. Now it can, but the problem with that is those chemicals go inside of you. And so when your body says, no, that's wrong, the doctor says, oh, you're allergic. Am I allergic, or is it the chemicals and pollutants that's in the food? So I'm going to teach you how to grow your own food from containers, from airbags. You'll grow a lot more food, a lot more healthier food, and it'll be easy. I can't wait to show you pictures of my garden, which is about from here to here. That was my entire garden. I had about 8 bags that I got from Walmart, 50 cents each. I use organic soil. I made my own compost in a little tub. And I had the most amazing food to the point my husband refuses to eat tomatoes that I didn't grow. Because the tomatoes, you slice one of those, the whole house smells like a tomato. That's how richly dense it is in nutrition. Whereas now, because they don't grow the foods the way they did back in biblical times, they don't let the soil rest every 7 years. They don't rotate the crops. They grow the same cash crop on the same land every year, and they add chemicals and call that fertilizer. But actually, you need to move the crop so that the nitrogen from the beans ends up going into this crop and this crop now, because each plant takes something out of the soil and puts something in. So if you keep planting the same thing in the same land every year, you're losing the nutritional value of each one. That's why the tomatoes taste like cardboard when you buy them from the store. They have no taste. You know what I'm saying? The fruit doesn't taste like it did when we were kids. What happened? You bite an apple and what is that? The strawberries are sour. What's going on here? Okay, so the first thing that I want you to do to prepare is to dedicate your body to the Lord. And we're going to do it right now. I want you to bow your heads. Before we do anything, Lord God, we want to dedicate our bodies anew and afresh today. Our bodies are your bodies. Can you say that?
Yes, Lord.
My body is your body.
My body is your body.
I re-give it to you.
I re-give it to you.
I am not my own.
I am not my own.
I do not have rights to this body.
I do not have rights to this body.
Do what you will, Lord.
Do what you will, Lord.
I will manage this body.
I will manage this body.
I will care for this body.
I will care for this body.
And treat it like the temple that it is.
And treat it like the temple that it is.
Now, Lord,
Now, Lord,
strengthen me
strengthen me
in my mind
in my
to
mind
stay true to this.
to stay true to this.
In Jesus' name.
In Jesus' name.
Amen.
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 If you have to do that daily, then do it. You have to remember who you are and whose you are, including this part of you. We forget this part of us. We focus on our spirits. And we go to church every week and we get our spirits built up. And some of us build up our souls with good reading and such, but our bodies are forgotten in the body of Christ. The church forgets the human, this part. We only think that I just have to go get prayed for and I'll be all right. When I was a little girl, my older sister, we came in from hanging out with our friends, and my grandparents had left some food for us on the stove. And so it was on a paper plate. And I don't know, when she went to reheat it, she had the paper plate too close to the flame. It caught fire. I'm standing at the sink, getting ready to wash dishes. I hadn't started yet. There was nothing in the sink. I just cleared the sink out. My hands were dry, completely dry. She panicked when the plate caught flame, and she tossed it to the sink. It hit my hand, and my hand went up in flames.
Wow.
The amazing thing is, I felt nothing. I was looking at my hand in flames. Not the whole hand, just like this whole back part. And so I cut the water on, and of course the water doused it instantly. And of course, the skin was completely charred. But I didn't feel any pain. And these are the things when I was a child that I knew God was real. So the hand completely healed. There's nothing there. It completely healed up. Nothing. But the amazing thing to me was, God, you protected me. And then you healed my hand where there's no trace at all that it was ever there. These fingers, all of this, right? It was what you would call that a second-degree burn, where it was all this was completely. But would I just stick my hand back in the fire every week now and just see if God would do it again?
No.
Because thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God. But yet we do that every time we take our bodies and do whatever with them. We keep putting ourselves back in the fire by eating these things that we know we shouldn't be eating. And we know we shouldn't be eating these things. But I'm going to help you make a plan. So the first part of your plan is dedicate your body to the Lord. The second part is a plan of wellness strategy, with your goal being whatever your health challenge is right now. I want you to think, what is your health goal or health challenge right now? Is it your kidneys? Is it your hair? Is it your energy levels? Is it an ailment that you have? If you look at when you pull this up, you'll be able to write it in yourself what your goal is. Is it, I need to prepare for pregnancy? And I'm talking to my online people as well. I need to prepare for, I'm supposed to have a surgery in a couple of weeks. You need to have a goal for what we're doing here in this course, in this challenge, in this wellness journey. What is your goal? What do you want to come out of this? Because I can't go home with you. I could, but what is your goal? Do you want to sleep better? Do you want to have a healthier weight, more weight, less weight? Do you want strength? Do you want to be able to walk up steps without huffing and puffing?
Amen.
What is your goal? Do your bones creak and snap and are you scared of falling because your balance is not good anymore? What is your goal? Are you not sleeping like you should? Do you not have an appetite like you should? Do you have allergies? Are you on medications that you want to come off of? What is your goal? All of this is possible if we get these two things in check. As well as what we talked about last week, which is what? Rest. It's a balancing act, and it's not a hard one. Your wellness strategy, once you get your goal in place, you have to decide what dietary upgrades you need to make. You have to decide what type of exercise is good for you to do. You have to decide what kinds of cleanses and flushes you need to do. If it's a water flush, where you're doing nothing but drinking water every day, no coffee, no soda, no juices, just flushing my system with water every day, every chance I get. Am I doing enemas, coffee enemas, lemon enemas, chamomile tea enemas to settle down my stomach and my intestines? What kind of enema do I need to do? How often and for how long? Once a week? Twice a week? The sicker you are, the more frequently you should do it. Never more than 4 times a day. Have to say that. What type of remedies are you going to be prepared to have in place should you start to feel ill?